Hello, and welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a Chilihead podcast for the community, by the community, regardless of your spice tolerance. This is the place for you. Hey, we have an amazing show for you tonight. Two great sauces on deck for Hot or Not, a legendary guest that I can't wait to dive into, getting in some great discussions, as well as we have a phenomenal game plugged away, ready for everyone to have some fun. So, hey, episode number 37 starts now. Hello, Swear Nation. All right, so glad to have everyone here. It is going to be an amazing episode tonight. Wanted to say thank you to all the new people that have been jumping on, subscribing. We're here to check out tonight's show, and I already see the chats popping off, so glad to see you here. Glad to have everyone here. And remember, this is a live show, so if you have questions for our guest tonight, which we have the amazing Khang Starr as our guest tonight, as well as two sauces from... How do I go about saying this without saying this? But Fxcking Hot Sauces. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. And then we will be diving into those. And then we have Keep 5, Cut 5 back on the show tonight. And it is going to be a fun one. I think everyone is going to love it. It's going to be a blast. And hey, let's go ahead and jump on over to Hot or Not. All right. Hey, welcome into Hot or Not. I'm Brandon Swear, and we are going to be diving into some sauces from Fxcking Hot Sauces, or Fxcking Hot Sauces. Here we go. And then we're going to start out today. We have two. We have the Rattler, and then we have a Redneck Reaper. So we are going to be jumping in first to the Rattler. Man, I had a great time meeting them out there at Zest Fest, really kind of diving in, getting to understand them, thought process that kind of goes through, etc. Artwork jumped out right off the bat, but man, I cannot wait. This is a episode that is definitely going to be directed towards keeping it here in Texas, and more so the DFW between the sauces and the guests. So let's get it going. Let me get this one opened up for the Rattler. Take off the seal here. All right. So, hey, if this is your first time checking out the show, and you're kind of probably about to be confused a little bit by the overall grading scale, if you saw it pop up on the screen there, this is a 5-category breakdown that I do, and those 5 categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. And from there, I give that my, take them 1 out of 5. Don't do a 1 out of 10. I give them their own individual score, rank them, divide them out by 5, and get the total swear word rating. If you're seeing heat and burn, and you're like, man, what's going on with that? Heat is that initial punch. That's that, letting you know the sauce is there. The burn is where it sits, how it sits, and how long it sits with you. So let's go ahead and jump on into the Rattler. Give it a good shake. Now, these are in these ones in particular are in plastic bottles. However, they are now in the 5-ounce woozies. So if you're ordering these sauces and you're like, wait a minute, mine didn't come in a plastic bottle like that, that is the major difference there. But no other items were changed on this. So get a nice good pour going. Get a nice spoonful. All right. Let's go ahead and move on back and in. Here we go. Beautiful color on this sauce while I'm here. Get a great aroma going on. All right. Well, hey, man, let's do it. The Rattler. Man, all right. While this is starting to kick in, let's talk about the overall aroma. Right off the bat, you get a nice smoky, savory notes that are kind of just rolling in on the nostrils. And then let's talk about heat. So from here, I got to get this on up too. Let me make sure I get this sent over. All right. So while we're talking about heat on this one, if you are new to eating spicy food, man, this is not going to be the first thing that you should jump into from them. Definitely going to be geared towards more of a chili head. Overall, the initial punch is not going to, like I said, not going to play fair if you are not a chili head. If you're new to the game, stay away. However, if you're a chili head, this is going to be a nice high end, high medium to really the high end more so of the heat scale for you. So definitely a great sauce for that. Let's go with the aroma, and then let me get some stuff jotted down from that. Okay, so for the versatility and flavor, we talked briefly about the flavor. So flavor-wise, nice smoky notes. Overall, great savory flavor. You're really getting this pepper-forward notes as well coming through. So right off the bat, that savory smokiness then uproars the pepper-forward taste. So you're really picking up the peppers that are going on. And you're getting, a touch of citrus too. So it's really nice how everything's kind of playing together, molding together, and really being able to work out in this sauce. So let's get that jotted down here, flavor-wise. And we will head on over to versatility. Versatility, this is going to be something that you are... you're going to be able to use just about on anything as far as that goes. The only thing I probably wouldn't go towards is going to be more of the dessert, but all, completely makes sense. Not really geared towards dessert. So nothing too shocking there. So let's get that jotted down burn wise. All right. So the overall burn on this, initially we had, a nice little mouth roar, if you will, going on. And then it really started to gravitate more towards the back of the throat. And then from the back of the throat, it's starting to creep down, if you will, into the throat pretty good. A little bit on the chest, nothing too much, nothing in the stomach, but mainly just holding in the back of the throat. So burn wise, once again, if you are a chili head, this is going to be a nice medium to high on the burn side of things. So let's get that jotted, and I will send this on over for the input. And there it goes. Cool. So while that's getting input, I don't like to take a look or read any of the ingredients ahead of time, so I do like to read them now. So let's dive on in there. All right, so right off the bat, first ingredient, habanero. Second ingredient, scorpion pepper. Then we got garlic, water, lime juice, orange juice, vinegar, salt, pepper, and spices. That those citrus notes definitely start to make sense on that. The overall taste on this is just phenomenal. Love what they're doing there. The graphics on the front of the label are very catchy, very eye-grabbing. This one happens to be a snake biting a hand. Obviously, it makes sense. It's called the Rattler. So, this is, it says on the side here we go. For the Rattler, this is a perfect balance of heat and flavor. Smoked habaneros, scorpion peppers, and garlic come together with a fresh squeezed lime juice. A splash of orange juice, and some smoked spices to bring a little heat to any dish or on your menu. Straightforward, no frills, just great sauce to add to any and everything you want to shove down your face. And man, this is definitely a phenomenal sauce. But let's get this one read off here. All right. So first up, we have heat coming in at 4.3. We have aroma at 3.7, flavor at 4, versatility at 3.8, and then burn at 4.2 for a total swear word rating of 4.01. There we go. Man, a phenomenal sauce. And let's jump into Redneck Reaper. So we'll have the links for everything down below, as well as direct links, so you can as well pick this up yourself. Definitely have quite a few different products. So they have sauces, some spices, as far as some powder mixes, as well as I think I saw some beef jerky as well. So definitely check it out. Oh, let's get that too. All right, so now let's dive on into Redneck Reaper. Once again, phenomenal color on this. This one's looking a slightly more red and bright, noticeable. Great consistency going on with this sauce. It's got it's got a nice body to it as far as the overall consistency goes. It's nothing, nothing super runny, nothing super thick. That's just gonna be hard to handle. It has the nice hold that you're looking for when you're really trying to pair it with food. So, all right, let's jump on in. Man, okay. Right off the bat, you get this nice. It's very citrusy, sweet, savory, all at once. Boom, popping out at you, and then the pepper forward taste comes in. Really lets you know that it's there. Man, that is a phenomenal sauce. All right, let's go ahead and talk about heat. Heat on this one. Right off the bat, I would say, honestly, I think the initial punch that you're getting from the Rattler might honestly be just a touch higher, if not the same. So initial punch is definitely going to be pretty similar there. So that's definitely nice. Aroma-wise, like I said, you're getting this one's a little bit more muted in the aroma factor compared to the Rattler, but this one had a lot more of a savory note, smoky note right off the bat that you're kind of picking up aroma-wise. And so with that, let's get that jotted down. Okay. And then let's go with the flavor. Flavor-wise, man, the sweet, the citrus, everything hitting all at once, that savory note, that smoky note, it pairs very well. And then as your taste buds are really starting to get used to that, then you start to get that pepper forward flow rolling in. And man, it is a great pairing. Nothing too super out of balance or out of whack on that in the sense of like one note overriding another. It does very phenomenal job keeping everything keep moving in a smooth transition flavor-wise. So let's get that going. And all right, versatility. Once again, probably not something I would use on a dessert style, but the overall capabilities of what you can do with this are pretty limitless. So definitely jumping in on that and going to be giving that get that versatility down there. Could see myself using this, definitely on some sandwiches, subs, chicken, and definitely hot wings, obviously. Tacos are going to be a blast with that. Pizza is going to be a blast with that. Man, I'm already thinking of all the different things that I could be using that on, and I know that it's definitely going to happen. It's going down. All right. Burn wise, not so much in the mouth this time, as to be expected, given the name Reaper. I'm sure that this is Reaper packed, but it's going to have a lot more. What you're getting is that mid to back of the mouth, but mostly it's in the back of the throat, lower throat. And so far, not so much in the chest and nothing really in the gut as well. All in all, very great burn. If you are new to eating spicy food, please do not just jump right into this. They have other phenomenal sauces that could easily, get you going. But if you're a chili head, man, this is definitely one that you need to pick up. You need to check out. and you need to get in rotation because it is a phenomenal one. I am wanting to see that on a barbecue brisket sandwich for sure. Let's do this here. All right. Let's get that going, and that should be on over to you now. And while that's getting input, let's read off some ingredients. All right. So right off the bat, boom, smoked Carolina Reaper. Then we have onion, garlic, water, lime juice, blood orange juice. There we go. Interesting. Very nice. That's probably that nice savoriness that I'm picking up along with the overall citrus notes. Then we got the vinegar, honey, salt, pepper, and then let's see here, Wise Acres Farms, Carolina Reaper powder, and some spices. So, man, phenomenal sauces. Loving both of them. Honestly, you can't go wrong, with what they're doing here. Once again, phenomenal artwork, very appealing, very eye-catching. Makes you just, immediately stop and go, oh, well, hold on, let me see what this is all about. But definitely the Redneck Reaper here, it says, will you ask for it? Don't say we didn't warn you, because this sauce is definitely has a little heat. We've smoked Carolina Reapers, Texas sweet onions, and garlic. Blended it with a bone, with some squeezed fresh citrus and a splash of vinegar, our smoked spices, and a little Carolina Reaper powder from our friends at Wise Acre Farms. Man, phenomenal stuff. Let's go ahead and get these right off here. All right. Heat coming in at 4.3. Then we have the aroma at 3.6. Flavor at 4. Versatility at 3.9. Burn at 4.3 for a total swear word rating of 4.02. Okay. Very nice, very highly recommended sauces. I would definitely say to go check out. We'll have everything linked down below. Direct links for both products are there, as well as they have some other phenomenal stuff. So give it a check. Go check it out and get yourself some effing hot sauces. All right, let's do it. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the interview. Hello, Khang. How's it going?
Brandon, good to see you. How you
Good to
doing?
see you, man. I'm doing great. It's a blast. Those sauces were phenomenal. So if you haven't tried those are also local. This is all dedicated towards this episode in particular towards the DFW. So highlight and shout out DFW area. Here we go.
Yeah, I like that the Redneck Reaper that you just tasted. It
Yeah.
looks pretty good. I like the label on it as well.
Yeah. The both labels on both of those are pretty phenomenal. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. The man, nothing to say it, but to say it. You've influenced quite a few people, in the overall community space. First and foremost, how does that make you feel? Like, what was your initial thoughts whenever, now where we are today, you look back and you're like, wow, okay, all the things that you've accomplished.
I never thought about being a big influencer. It wasn't something that I was, wanting, in the beginning. I wanted just to build a community with great people that share the same passion. And I think along the way, I met a lot of people that also, kind of like came together and, you know, uh, we achieved the kind of like we have the same goal. And I think that's how it's been. It's like there's so many people I met along the way that made sort of like this pepper venture possible for me, as well as a lot of other people in the community as well. And
Yeah.
like back years ago when Google was still around, I don't know if you still remember,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but that was a really fun place where there's a lot of like-minded people that just come for the same interest and passion, and we share ideas, and everything was just free. and it was we had such a good time.
Oh yeah, that that platform. I think still to this day, if you were to just look at that period of time and what you were capable to do versus what you're able to do on Facebook now, it's just like it just dominates it. Like I would rather have Google Plus and the Google Hangouts and all that stuff still rolling because that was a lot more fun than kind of capabilities of what you can do on Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally miss it as well. It's just there's so many different sort of like you can get more intimate with some of the friends that you connected with, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
there's not a lot of spam, there's not a lot of bullying, and it's just it's a different place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're talking about a platform with Facebook where you're there not only for groups that you may be a part of, but you're also there for family stuff, et cetera, et cetera. All this stuff kind
Yep.
of just has this tidal wave rolling out.
Hmm.
But ultimately, with the Google thing, you were Google Plus. You're sitting there really trying to hone into specific groups, and so you had to go seeking those out. So it wasn't just something you stumbled across and wanted to just terrorize. So
Yeah, you're right, and that's where it started actually. So, you know, the initially when I started into the doing pepper stuff, that's where I connected with a lot of the people that did similar things, and that's how it started. It kind of spanned from Google.
yep.
And once it closed down, we kind of like, hey, where do we go now? Let's just go to Facebook because everyone knows it, and so that's that's
Yep.
that's how we're here now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, the group is growing. It's taken off, and that same divide also caused an interesting thing, but it also worked out for the better. I feel like because then you had obviously the Reddit that ran one direction. You had the Facebook side that went the other direction, and those two communities, while there was some crossover of members in the big picture of it all, you also started to gain new people to certain platforms. So it was phenomenal for the overall pepper community as a whole.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Reddit is a great place. I mean, a lot of people prefer Reddit over Facebook, and so there's kind of like a split between the two. And so I'll go on every once in a while to say hi to people here and there, but I'm not as active as I used to be, having two kids and, they're really young right now. And so
Yep.
they take a lot of my time.
Yep. Absolutely understand you there. That's actually something that I was going to ask. Very, very particular because, or very specific. I cannot talk right there. Specifically, there we go. About because so I have young kids as well, and I already know how much of a struggle it can be to really get the garden going and constantly keep up with things whenever you got two little ones running around, three little ones running around, whatever. And man, how do you do it? How do you find the time?
Yeah, it's a little bit tough. Of course, all the time is going to be dedicated towards the children. They're the main priority. And the little bit of time that I have left usually is in the evening. That's where I spend, doing videos, editing, recording things that I've done weeks ago and trying to compile everything together. And yeah, it's tough. And then I have a farm that I visit every once in a while that I'm trying to do things out there, but that's going to be a long struggle. So, so
Yeah, that's a whole nother task right there. But that sounds like a great place to, not only continue to build up and work on, but it also sounds like a great place that could be as an outlet to really just unwind as well and just kind of disconnect from everything that is, thrown in our face in this world. So that sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah, it is a lot of fun. I'm not doing too much out there right now. I'm doing things that are, mostly automated. So these fruit trees that I'm growing, or certain plants that I'm growing, they have to be able to survive on their own. And so those are the ones that I'm concentrating on. I'm testing things and seeing how things are going to work. And as the kids get older, when I have more free time, I'm maybe try to do pepper growing on a larger scale, but I'm gonna need a lot of help from people in the community because that something that size is new to me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm seeking guidance all the time. There's always people that have such good knowledge that I learn from.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. With that being said, too, and obviously we have some pictures here for everyone to kind of visually see as we're talking through this. So fruit trees in general, we had when we moved into our home in 2018. There was five, maybe six different fruit trees in our backyard, and the people that lived there before, they planted these things closely together that they were like fighting for everything. It became kind of a mess. So ultimately, they've started to dwindle down, and the kids want a playground. So then another tree has to be removed, if you will. And it's almost like, all right. So now we're down to a fig tree for the most part. But man, I don't know how you keep up with not only quite an amazing pepper grow, but you're also growing all these amazing fruit trees that I know that's no small task either, because fruit are constantly dropping if you're not aware of what's going on, whether it be squirrels, birds, etc. And that's another thing that just really is taxing. So how has that impacted the size of your overall pepper grow?
Yeah, definitely, it did reduce the amount of peppers I'm growing. Basically, every season, we tend to start very strong, and then as the years pass, you kind of reduce, get less and
Yep.
less. And I used to breed peppers like every year, create a new variety because it's so much fun. And then, but growing those things and growing them out, testing varieties and then, getting the F1s and F2, man, that take a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
And adding fruit trees, my to be able to get all the fruit trees into my yard that I want. So I have to limit the type of fruit trees that I want to grow. So right now I'm focusing on pears, figs, and persimmons, and because those are the easiest one to sort of like graft. And so I've been grafting. I did grafting on peppers initially, and
Yep.
I use the same knowledge to graft fruit trees now from learning how to graft peppers, and it works amazing. And so my pears, we have a single pear with like 10 different varieties on it. And all that was from learning how to graft peppers, and I use the same thing over, and so it worked just fine.
Yeah, I mean that's super cool, because then you literally have the space of one tree, but really the fruits of like five or six, and it is just mind blowing to think, about all the great variety that you're getting from that one tree.
hmm Yeah, and because I'm going to going down this grafting path, I'm starting to cross graft. Like what I'm doing now is I take an apple seedling that can withstand really crazy temperature or bad soil. I'm grafting a pear on top of it, and it's actually growing. I mean, I didn't know that it could work. I tried to read about it. I couldn't find much information on it. They say that it'll just die in a few years. But my apple tree that was grafted onto a pear tree is about a few years old now and still growing strong.
Nice. Okay. I mean, that's a huge thing to be able to know, because here's the other thing. So Texas is so big for all those that are listening or watching, and they're uncertain of the size of it. But Texas is so big, and our issue is, like with most states, you can kind of say, oh, well, the soil is this XYZ, but here there's so many different varieties of, issues of terrain problems, whether that just be really dry, clay-like ground and all that stuff, or all the way to, you have some of the stuff that's pretty loose and sandy the further south you go. So I mean, it's there's just a wide array of things, and some of this land it needs a lot of upkeep and a lot of help to kind of keep going. So yeah, I can see where, as you were saying, to have an apple variety that just really thrives in the conditions here, and being able to graft and not have that other plant that's grafted to it suffer, man, that's going to be phenomenal for your output. So,
I-
oh,
No,
are you
go
going to say
ahead.
something? Oh, no, I was just going to say, hey, reminder to anyone that's in the chat. I see we have some questions flying in already. But if you have some questions for Khang, please go ahead and send those on over. We'll get a few of those pulled up as we go. But yeah, no. So all right, you're very famously known for your wide variety of your experiments of trying to grow in many different mediums, if you will, and in many different conditions. And also known for trying to be resourceful and creative with the containers and tools that you have. Over the years, what was your most like the one time that you were trying something that you just got super excited that it actually worked out? What was that one that stands out the most to you?
The one that stand out the most to me, it actually is one of the crossing variety that I started years ago. And this is, you know how when you cross, you have to sort of like take similar varieties, like, Chinense varieties, you have to cross with Chinense varieties. And there's certain charts or graphs that will tell you which is compatible and which is not. And you kind of learned this in school, back in the day when they teach you about crossing peas with Gregor Mendel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so you kind of go down that path. And I was like, no, there has to be a way. I mean, these are peppers, right? So I took a Chinense variety and I crossed it with a an annuum, which is one of my Thai pepper. And it's not possible, or if it is possible, it would create like a variety that produce seeds that are non-viable. And I tried it, and it is true that it'll produce mostly non-viable seeds. But then I tried it, cross it both ways, one to the other, and then the reverse. And I got it to work. And I crossed a Thai pepper with a Scotch bonnet, and it works so well. It tastes so good. It is so hot, and I'm still growing it to this day. I have one plant outside right now, and for some reason that one variety is like, I mean, it's the size of a tree. It's so big. I don't know why. I mean, Thai peppers are typically very small, but
Yeah.
Scotch bonnets are a lot of times they could be very big. And so the outcome, I mean, this tree looks like a little tree right now. I got to show you guys one of these days.
Man, that does sound pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, so that makes sense because most of the time those Thai plants are they're smaller, they're bushy, but they are hardy. So I wonder if like
Hmm.
they got ultimately from what it sounds like, it's like as if it got the genetics and from the height, if you will, of one pepper, and then you have the other the hardiness, the ability to withstand the wind and the abuse that kind of rolls through in nature from the other, and it's just now really taken off. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it tastes really totally different from anything that I've tried before. It's not so much of a Thai pepper, but it does have around the same heat, maybe a little bit more. But it's very, very sweet. It's like sweet as like a Scotch bonnet sweet. And the pods are kind of smooth, but they're much larger and longer. And so it's a very, very interesting variety. I mean, I'm glad I still grow it because I was just gonna toss it aside because I already did it and I know it worked. But I kept it going, and I have one plant right now, and I'm gonna keep seeds for the next season.
Okay. Nice, nice. The as far as I know, you have quite a few crosses out there. As far as your crosses go, we'll exclude the lemon starburst from the conversation because I think everyone's been growing it enough to have it pretty stable at this point. But from the ones that you've kind of just kept on your own, what's the one that you've really taken the furthest on your own time?
The other ones that I took the furthest would probably be this cross called the Lingria, which is
Okay.
uh, it's a linzo, which is initially a cross of mine, and I crossed it with a sangria because I went to a park one day, and I saw these sangrias, and I mean, they're so beautiful. They're like really tiny little plants, but they produce like a million pods that look just lovely, beautiful colors, the purple. And I was like, wow, my linzo tastes really good. What if I cross it with this variety and have it produce like a gazillion pods just like this, and that tastes good? And I tried it, and I actually I think I documented it in one of the video, and it came out so nice. I mean, it was better than I expected, and I still have it going. And the Lingria, it's a very unique variety because it tastes a little bit strange, but the pods are really beautiful, and it has these tails on them. It looks, and it's super, super easy to grow, and they're very, very productive.
Oh, nice.
And you get like hundreds and hundreds of pods on a little plant. You can grow in a little cup, or you can grow it in a raised bed. It'll just does well in any size container.
Okay, okay, very nice. Well, that also kind of leads me to, you're very well known for using the Arrow Garden. Man, has first and foremost, this is a jab at Arrow Garden if they haven't done this yet. But have they made you their official spokesperson yet? Because they definitely need to.
No, they haven't. A lot of the times, I try to stay away from people coming to me and to speak good about their products, because I want to be, I want to stand neutral, because I don't want to push a product that I know is bad. It just morally I don't feel right. And so a
Yeah.
lot of the times, uh, I get I do get free products a lot because I use it to do a lot of hydroponics. So I get all these company pushing lights to my channel, and the only one that I really took were there were two of them, because I actually used them. I said, hey, let me use them first, and then I'll make a video on it. If I like it, I'll keep going. If I don't like it, I'll just send it back. And so the one of the first one was the spider farmer. I'm not sure they're still around, but they were one of the most impressive light setup that I've used before. I mean, they don't pay me at all. They just sent me that free setup, and allowed me to use it and see if I like it. And after that, I was like, I'm just gonna keep using this because it helped me with my winter projects. And I grow lettuce, figs, fruit trees, of course, a lot of all of my peppers in there.
Yep.
And yeah, I again, I don't want to push products that I know are going to be bad. So the Aero Garden, the reason I show it a lot is because I really love it. It's very small, it's convenient, it works well. And for the purpose that what I was doing was to show people how to grow in small space. It serves a great purpose. And all my crossing project is actually because some of it because of the Aero Garden.
Yep. Yep. I know you are definitely the person that directed me towards the idea of going and get myself an Arrow Garden, is watching some of your videos and seeing you use it all the time. And just from that point, I was like, all right, well, I'll keep my eyes out. And then it happened to be someone had made an announcement that was like, hey, go check out Home Depot right now, or Lowe's, or whatever it was. It was one of those stores. And it's like, they're all discounted. And I just rushed over there and got one for like 60% off or something. It was pretty nice. But yeah, no, I mean, they're phenomenal. I know that if I'm in a pinch and I'm really trying to get a seed started so I can get it outside, or just get something going that had died off that I didn't have any others to go with, man, those things work wonders at just accelerating that process. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times people ask me, "Hey, should I get one?" I say, "Yes, but don't get it until it's on sale or something, because it's always a sale on it."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, there's definitely no reason to buy that one at full cost.
hmm
All right, Jeff, do we have any questions over there? All right, let's get some of those real quick. While we're getting some of those here, what will the there's still so much more that we can cover, and we definitely will. But the overall experience, I know, has been there's just so much to grab right now. Did you happen to? All right, all right, let's grab that one. All right, so from CKJ7, what are some of your favorite peppers?
Oh man, I have a lot, but on top of my head, I'll tell you a few. Uh, One of my favorites, of course, is always the Sugar Rush. I grew one of those a few years ago, and I mean, I just keep growing those because they're such easy plants to grow. They taste great. They're very, very sweet, and they're a great base, guys. If you make hot sauce, use the Sugar Rush as like a sweetener for your base. They're excellent. Of course, I love the Thai peppers because we always cook with them. One of my favorite, it's not so much it's sort of like a Japanese variety, but it looks like a Thai called the Santaka, and it grows in bundles, and it's very, very productive. It points towards the ceiling, and we use those to cook because they have nice flavor but very mild heat. Uh, and then I also love the piquinos. Piquinos, I think that they're called piquinos. The little beak pepper from South America. Those are excellent, guys. You should grow them. And another one of my favorite is the Brazilian starfish. If you have not grown Brazilian starfish, you have to grow it because it tastes like a fruit. It's very nice and crunchy. It looks like a saucer, very beautiful. And you can just work in the garden because every time I go in the garden do some work, I pull a few of those and I eat them as I work. They're excellent. So you must try
Absolutely.
those.
Absolutely. Those are phenomenal. And they make an amazing powder if you haven't ever turned those into powder yet.
Oh, no, I have not. I would do
The,
that.
talk about bringing a sweet note forward on the powder mix that you have. It brings a lot of fruity flavors and body, but it also brings in a nice sweet note. So definitely, definitely a solid one right there. I only grew it
Great.
maybe 2 seasons, and the first time I grew it, I was like, "What have I been doing? Like, why have I not been growing this more?"
Yeah,
It's definitely a good one.
that's the thing with peppers because there's sometimes during the season I'll just like I have to limit it down to a certain number of plants to grow, and then somehow towards the you know when the peppers start to produce, I was like, wow, this variety is so good. Why didn't I grow more of it? And so that's when cloning kind of like takes over. I was like, wow, why don't I'll just clone another one and I'll throw it in my aero garden or I'll throw it in my hydroponic, and then I'll have a bunch more, to use throughout the season. And so yeah, I get that all the time. I was like, why didn't I grow more of these?
Yep, yep. And cloning just makes it so much more easy to do, if you will. Okay, looks like we have. Okay, yes, this is Khang Starr. He is the creator of the Lemon Starburst. That is right, Miguel. So Miguel jumping in here. Good to see you, Miguel. All right. Oh, okay. So there's the Lemon Starburst comment here from CKJ7. Says that we love your Lemon Starburst and are growing them right now. So very nice, CKJ. It is a very well balanced pepper that is great for any occasion. And man, King, I've seen you do some phenomenal stuff as far as creating sauces with all your different pods over the years. Is that still going for you? What does that look like?
Yes, so I do a lot of sauces. My favorite one is the fermented sauce. I did a video on that. You guys should check it out. I mean, try to make fermented sauce. It is such, I mean, it brings out the pepper's flavor that you have never experienced before, and it's really, really good. So if you can or have or know how, you definitely have to do that. I also infused vodka. Like if I want to make like Bloody Mary and stuff like that, I infuse vodka with like some super hots. That way you can just put a drop in there and it'll kick it up a notch. Pepper powder, I always make those every season. I make chili oil. I mean, pretty much everything.
Yep. I was about to say your chili oil is something that I've made quite a few times, just replicating the recipe that you have out there, and it always aims to get the job done. So, man, that is a phenomenal recipe that you have out there.
Yeah, the chili oil, Brandon, if you keep it simple, it tastes the best. That's what I noticed. And when I try to make it so, put all kinds of stuff in there, it seems to take away the flavor of the peppers. And so, what I normally do, the secret for mine is like you kind of like fry the garlic and onion in oil until it have a nice little crunch, and
Hmm.
then you mix the pepper in there. Oh man, that's the secret formula right there.
Absolutely. That crunch is definitely a must have. It brings so much more to the dish as you're eating it. So, no, that's awesome. All right. Well, hey, to be cautious of time and want to make sure that we have enough time for the game, let's go ahead and jump on over to Keep Five, Cut Five. All right, here we go. Keep five, cut five. And Kang, this is all your addition. We have 10 different varieties of your peppers up here. And what we're going to do is, and I'll go ahead and announce it now because I know there's going to be somebody that's going to be, paying attention to this later, and they're going to go, well, why wouldn't he want this one, or why wouldn't this? Doesn't mean that you hate this other variety that you're having to cut tonight. It's just simply five have to win, five have to go, and this is just your preference right here, right now, in the moment. So let me go ahead and pull up my list because obviously. This is what I was trying to make sure I got the correct one. So obviously we have the lemon starburst that was down at number here. Oh, let's back out. Number 7. Okay. So that was on the list. The Kangsta red and yellow. So the Kangsta line
Hmm.
is number 1 on that list. Let's see here. Let me try to zoom in on these as we go. So it looks like 2 and 3. 2 is, what is that? Is that the Misery Sweet? And then the 3 is Sweet Misery.
Hmm.
Yep. Okay. And then we have the Torch. And then the large Pekin.
The
And
super
then
peking, yeah.
Super Pekin. And then let's go over to the next one. I believe this is this the Texas Crimson Bonnet Red right there on that
Yes,
one?
I, I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that might be it. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% certain. That's Lemon Starburst. The next one's the Hornet, and then we have the White Tie, and then this is the pumpkin variety. I think is this the orange one or yellow? Let's see. What did I grab? This is it's just a strutch, a pumpkin.
Mhm.
So, all right, there we go. 1 through 10. This works best typically by picking either one to keep or one to cut, and then just alternating as you go. So it's
Okay, so I'll pick the one to keep.
yep.
Oh man, these are
The
you picked them really good ones because these are some of my favorite ones. But the keeper, of course, is always the KS white tie. I always have to have that every season, and
yep.
so that's the keeper.
Yep. That's number 9 on that one. We're gonna put a keep on. I've yet to try that one. There's only a handful on here that I've had the pleasure to actually try. And I know that's one that's always seems to elude me, even though it's oftentimes circulated around. I just never have yet to try it. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to
on,
try it. It's a beautiful plant and great flavor. It's fun to grow.
I
So
love
I'll
the
do another
color.
keep. The another keep is the lemon starburst, of course. That's my
Okay,
all-time
number
favorite.
7. There we
Yes.
go. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought about
And
putting the whole like trio there, but then it was we'll just do
yeah.
one.
And then the hornet is you got to keep the hornet also.
Okay. The number was that 8? Yeah, 8.
Yes.
And let's get some cuts.
Some
That
cuts.
way
Oh man, this
that
is
way
tough.
that it's not just coming down to all right, these last are 5 are gone.
Okay. I'll cut the super pekin on number 5.
Okay.
And the reason for this is because the seeds are really hard to collect out of these guys. I mean, I can grow hundreds of pods and I'll get like 10 seeds out of there. very tough.
Man. Yeah,
So
that makes sense. The size of that, I mean, there's a lot of people that make products with the Peking pepper. I mean, I would imagine the enlarged size would be a huge upside for some of those growers that are making product out of it.
yeah, but also like when I grow them, the birds always get it to them before I get to them, so I lose all my seeds anyway,
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, what else are we
Uh,
cutting?
what else we cutting? Oh man, gosh, this is tough. The pumpkins.
All right, number
It's
10.
one of the most beautiful peppers for me, but again, the seeds are also very hard to get on that one. So for some reason, it's either they produce really non-viable seeds, and they don't produce as much peppers usually. I'll get like 5 or 6 of them, and that's usually it. And so I kind of not grow it as much, but it's a very nice variety.
Nice. Yeah, I love what when you used to carve the faces in the peppers
Yeah.
for Halloween and stuff on the pumpkin variety, pumpkin shaped varieties. It was always great.
Yeah,
Um,
those are the orange one, and the orange ones are excellent. Those are great.
yeah.
Let's see. Let's cut the sweet misery.
Okay. That is number 2,
Yeah,
right?
number
Yeah,
two.
yeah, number 2.
The reason for that is it's very spicy, but in a way that it hurts really bad. And they're kind of like a Thai variety. This is one of the bonnet cross that I did initially.
Hmm.
And the seeds on those are also very hard to get to. So they're usually very few seeds in there. And yeah, growing it is always tough because it's very hard to grow them. Like, the seeds don't sprout that well. And so that's why there's a cut on that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now we can either keep one or we can cut one.
Okay, keep one. Let's keep the Khang Starr red and yellow.
Okay. Number
The
1.
reason for that is that is a very special variety to me because I grew this a long time ago, and I sent it to a really good friend of mine. I'm not sure if you know Dave from West Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah. So Dave and I used to be very, very close friends. We haven't talked in a while because I think he has his own thing, so he hasn't been online much. So I haven't seen him. But the Gangster Red was where Dave and I kind of like collaborated in growing. I sent him seeds. He sent me back a bunch of seeds, and we kept that going. And Kangstar was actually Dave and Donna, which is his wife. They gave him that name,
Oh,
and so
nice. Okay.
that's yeah, that's a keep for me.
All right. That's definitely a great one to keep. I've actually had the pleasure of eating one of those before, and they,
Oh,
they pack a
nice.
nice punch, and they got some great flavor.
They're very beautiful too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And so we have one more keep. Let's see, one more keep. I would do uh, the torch.
The torch. Okay, number 4.
Yeah,
We're keeping
there are
that
actually
one.
3 varieties of those. The torch, um, the orange flame, and the red flame. They're all the same. They're beautiful peppers, and they they're just amazing. They produce like crazy. They taste good. The perfect amount of heat, and they're very fun to grow. So I have 3 cousins to those: the red one, the orange one, and the yellow one.
Okay. All
So I
right.
gave a ton of those seeds out recently, or in the past year. So yeah, that's a nice one. And I guess the rest are cut, right?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like the Texas Crimson Bonnet, and then the what is that? The Misery Sweet
Yeah.
on the other one. Yep. Man. All right. Well, hey, that was keep 5, cut 5. I mean, I knew it was going to be a hard one, but it's always fun one. So, hey, let us know in the chat what y'all thought. If y'all were playing along, what y'all would have kept and what y'all would have cut. So, man, Khang, this has been awesome. I'm so glad to have you here. Let's go ahead and roll out with the nugget of knowledge on this. This is a nice little piece where I like to direct a tidbit of information that you would pass on to somebody else that was getting into the game. So let's gear this nugget of knowledge towards somebody that is, interested in growing, or maybe they just started growing and they're really just struggling to either stick with it or whatever. What would your tip to be to them to, continue on?
Uh, I think as a new grower, one of the biggest mistake that I know from, so many questions being asked is people tend to overwater plants like all the time. And it's for some reason new, people think like, oh, you growing a plant, you got to give it water every day. And I think that's the biggest tip that, for a new grower, just you cannot water plants every day because they're living things, they have roots, they breathe. And so if you keep, like if you put your hand in water for a long time, it'll shrivel, right? And so imagine the roots are basically going through the same process. And so, just water the plants when they need it, and, don't water every day or don't overwater, and the plants will do fine.
Very well said. Very well said. It is a difficult balance to figure out that happy medium between watering too much and not watering enough. But with time,
Yes.
you two will figure it out.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's do this. We got to have someone on the hot seat nomination. So, who are you nominating to be on the hot seat?
I have two people that I really, really follow and take advice from.
Okay.
They're great. Some of the best grower you will find. Uh, One is the Pepper Guru. I'm not sure if you know that he has a really big community also, and he also
Okay.
has a YouTube channel. And I mean, the Pepper Guru. I mean, he's totally a guru for sure. I mean, his plants are ridiculous. I mean, they produce like thousands and thousands of pods. Yes, that's the channel right there. You guys got to go and watch his videos or his grow. Um, you will not be disappointed. He has some great information, very knowledgeable, and really, really experienced in growing peppers for sure.
All right. Very nice. Okay. And you said you had two. Did you want to
And
drop the other? Or
yes,
did you want to not want to?
yes, the other one is Mr. Haha. He's on our pepper lovers community, and I think grows everything: peppers, fruit trees, uh, vegetables, and good knowledge. He makes little videos here and there on uh, Facebook, and they share with people like how to mix your soil, how to make your fertilizer and all that stuff. And I'll send over your information if you can find him. But he's a
Okay.
great one. He's lots and lots of knowledge for sure. Peppers and fruit trees.
Okay. That sounds great. Hey, I will be reaching out to both of y'all within the next few days. We'll get something, on the books and getting ready to go, and definitely looking forward to having them on. And man, there's now, only one thing left, which is really letting everyone know where they can find you and how they can find you. So this is also helpful. We'll have everything linked down below. However, for those that are just audio only listening, this will help them be able to find you.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube under Khang Starr. Same with Instagram. I think those are the two platforms that I use, and that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Facebook also, yeah. So the Pepper Lovers community is where you can find me, and there's a lot of people there with good knowledge. So come and join us.
All right, there we go. Well, hey, I've had a blast having you on here. Definitely want to dive deeper because there's still so much more that we can go into. We only got to scratch the surface here tonight. So definitely looking forward to having you back on. And man, thank you so much for being here.
Brandon, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad you invited me on this show.
Yes, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, hey. Man, episode number 37 has been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. I hope everyone else had a phenomenal time here tonight. I know that we had, so much going on in the chat. So thankful for everyone that was here, active in the chat, being a part of the show. Man, it was so just eye-opening, if you will, to be able to dive into and get to understand, the grow setup from Khang, as far as, everything that he's got going on, the different iterations of being able to work in these fruit trees and what he's able to do with that. man, just knowledge flowing out everywhere. So definitely glad to have him here. We will have everything linked down below on how you can get in touch with him. Also, as well as the Pepper Lovers community will be tagged down below. So if you're wanting to go check out the Pepper Lovers community that was mentioned quite a few times, that is down below as well. Also, we will have, you know, our hot sauces that we had on the show tonight from Fxcking Hot Sauces. So you'll see the direct website link on that as well as direct links to both of these sauces that we reviewed tonight. Man, phenomenal sauces. Definitely go check them out. You won't be disappointed. And man, episode number 37 is in the books. But before we go, don't forget Podvision. If you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, launch your brand, definitely check them out. And hey, you can catch me over there. So if you're looking for, you know, some help with figuring out how to get in touch with Podvision, just go ahead and shoot me a message. We'll get it teed up and get you in the right direction. So I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been the Swear Word.